Hey everyone! I'm Stephanie, a wedding photographer from Ohio, and I'm actually going to do something a little different today. We're going to do a Q&A video with my husband, Michael. Okay, so we're just going to talk a little bit first about our story and how we met and everything before we jump right into the questions. So Michael's going to talk a little bit about how we met first, so go ahead.
Okay. So Stephanie and I met at a church cookout playing spike ball in a park. It was fun.
So Michael had been going to that church for a really long time, and I had just moved to Ohio that previous winter. So I came to the cookout, and we played spike ball, and I saw him and thought he was too cute to not have a girlfriend, but I thought he was super cute. After that, we became really good friends for a few months, and then after a few months, we officially started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And we dated for about a year and a half before we got engaged.
We got engaged at our church where we celebrated our 4 months together, and that was where we had our first dance.
We got engaged when we were 19 and 20. Yeah. I was 19, he was 20 years old. We got engaged. When we got married the following year in July. We had about a 7-month engagement. We got married at Oak Grove, the venue here in the Columbus area, and it was awesome. So we were 20 and 21 years old when we got married. Yeah. So we're pretty young, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Nope.
So at this point right now, we've been married for almost a year and a half. It's been awesome. We got married about halfway through our college life journey. Halfway through getting our degrees. So 2 years into college for both of us. So we have been married for almost a year and a half, and we're still in college. We have one more semester left, so we're graduating at the end of next semester, which we're really excited about. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the questions you guys had from the Insta story I posted. So if you want to get in on like question answer videos in the future, be sure to follow me on Instagram because I ask for questions there. So the first question we have is, did we ever do long distance? If we did, how long did we do the long distance for?
I think until we got married, the longest we had ever been apart was 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days, one time.
4 days, and that was brutal.
We've never been long distance, which I feel really grateful for. We've always been like, we lived 10 minutes apart before we got married. But I would say even after getting married, so Michael's in the military, so he does leave for usually about 2 weeks every year. So he did do 2 weeks this past summer, and that was, up until that point, it was 4 days, and then he left for 2 weeks. And that was really hard because we'd never been apart that long before.
You cried like every night, right?
I did not cry every night. I have a lot of friends who have, and I know it's really hard, but thankfully, like, we've never had to go through that ourselves. So the next question is, did he do photography before y'all started dating, or did you get him into it?
So the answer is kind of. When I met Stephanie, of course, I knew she was a photographer, and I really liked her. So I figured out what camera she had, and I went out and bought my own so that I could teach myself photography.
You literally bought the exact same camera I had,
yeah.
Like a $1,500 camera.
Yeah. And I taught myself how to shoot manual and everything. So yes, I did photography before we started dating, but then she was also the reason that I got into it. Mm-hmm. But I just did like landscape stuff.
Yeah.
I never took pictures of people.
Yeah, I got you into the weddings part of it.
Yeah.
Like, taught you all of that. Yeah.
Right.
So that kind of goes into the next question of, there's a few different people who asked me this, but basically, how much teaching was involved in trying to get him to shoot weddings with me, asking like, did I teach him? What did I teach him? How did I teach him? When we met and started dating, I had just started shooting weddings that year, so I had been doing a lot of second shooting, so I probably shot about 15 weddings by the time we started dating. And then the next year was my first year going into weddings for myself and shooting my own weddings. So what I did is I had a few weddings that, because I was shooting like lower budget weddings, they didn't pay for a second shooter, which is totally fine. But I would just have him come along to those weddings, and then I would use those to kind of train him. So I'm pretty sure the first wedding, I just gave him the camera and told him like, here, go, do stuff, and we'll figure it out later, like figure out what you need to change. And I would let him use a lot of my like photography gear, like lenses and stuff, because he just had a body, and I actually used his body as a backup for a while, because I didn't want to buy my own. I remember the first wedding he shot, he was already really good because he taught himself how to shoot manual. Like, it was just so good. So, like, when he shot the wedding with me, he was already doing a really good job. He already knew how to shoot manual and, like, expose properly. I would just tell him, like, keep it on this aperture, don't go above this ISO, and, like, then I slowly taught him how to use flash, off-camera flash, because I use a lot of off-camera flash for my weddings, at receptions. So, basically, like, from that first wedding, I would say we just kind of, like, I think I sat down, we talked through a couple times, like, things you can change. I told him, like, the lenses I prefer him to use for different parts of the day, things that I'm looking for. So those first few weddings where, like, there wasn't any pressure of him actually being a second shooter, it was really nice for him to, like, learn.
Yeah, just tag along.
Yeah, just kind of tag along and, like, figure it out without, like, much pressure. And then the following years when he actually started shooting some weddings with me as an actual second shooter. So basically, like, I just taught him that way. So now, last year, he probably shot, I don't know, like, maybe almost half my weddings.
Yeah, something
like that, yeah. So, like, he doesn't shoot all my weddings with me. Because he's in the military, he has a commitment one weekend every month. So it's hard for us to ever really, like, go full-time together. Like, that just wouldn't. And I think it's more something, like, I want to have my own business, and he wants to do his thing, too. Like, so I don't see us ever really going full-time together, but it is fun to have him shoot some weddings with me every year. Next year, he's probably not going to shoot as many because I have interns that are going to shoot with me.
Yeah.
And
me out.
Yeah. Well, you're also going to get a job once you graduate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So he's going to start working full-time and then having the guard duty every 1 weekend a month. He's already going to be working a lot. So we're just going to kind of figure it out. I have a couple out-of-state weddings that he'll probably come shoot with me. So I just like doing a couple of those every year. So he'll shoot those with me, so it's more fun for him to, like, travel with me. But for, like, local weddings, I'll probably have my interns do most of them. So basically the next question, like, there are several different people that asked it in, like, a variety of ways. But essentially it's asking, like, how do we make time for each other and, like, balance our marriage with being an entrepreneur and me having my business, like, working weekends and stuff. I feel like we probably will have a way different answer in about a year from now, because right now, honestly, like, the first year and a half and probably until we graduate has felt pretty easy. I mean, not easy, but, like, because we're both still in school full-time too, and we go to the same school, we're both at Ohio State and a college of business, so, like, we're usually in the same buildings even. So, like, we carpool to school a lot. Like, we're at home a lot during the day together. So I would say it's not like right now we have a lot of the same schedules. We're going to the same place and doing a lot of the same things, even if I do work some nights and weekends. Yeah. Like, yeah. So honestly, like, so far it hasn't felt super hard. But probably in a year from now, like, when he starts working full-time and then I'm working weekends, like, it is probably going to be a lot harder to manage. So coming off of that question, it's kind of a similar thing of how just in general we balance our lives and, like, prioritizing each other and making each other a priority.
It's definitely been something we've been trying to figure out. And right now our strategy is that we've kind of set aside every Friday. Sometimes it gets interrupted and things come up, but we have it on the calendar. We blocked out a time, and so on Friday evenings we plan something. Sometimes we go over to the RPAC at Ohio State University, which is the rec center there, and we play racquetball or just hang out in the hot tub, or we watch movies. But we just get together and we do something.
Or go get Rita's.
Yeah,
we love Rita's. It's like a shaved ice place.
Italian ice.
Not shaved. Yeah, it's super good.
Oh, it's amazing.
But they close till February over the winter. Sad. I would say too, like, when we have weeks where we feel like we've just been more busy and we haven't spent as much time together, because it's like we spend a lot of time together just throughout the day, but it's different, like sitting down and, like, having a date night or, like, hanging out with each other. You know, I feel like we've had weeks where we've been really busy, and then, like, as soon as we have a chance, like, we just go for an hour or two, or, you know, like, go get Rita's together, or, like, go on a date, or, like, hang out, or, like, watch a movie. We do watch a lot of TV together, like, hang out, just, like, relax. So I feel like that helps.
Something also that's been really fun to do together has just been going on walks in the mornings.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's really, like, it just gives you time to do nothing but talk.
Yeah.
Talk and walk. But That's been nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. When we do that, I love walks.
It's fun, like,
It's fun.
starting the day off with you.
Yeah.
We do it in the morning.
I know. What's the nice thing about now is, like, because we're students, like, obviously our schedules are not, like, 9 to 5. Like, we have classes, like, some days, and sometimes we don't even have classes, or, like, they're not till later. So, like, we still have those mornings together. Like, we can just be like, hey, you want to go on a walk? Or, which I'll really miss when he starts working, but.
Wake up early now.
I'm not waking up that early. I'm not a morning person.
Not at all.
Maybe evening walks? We'll have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. But I feel like it'll be a lot different in a year from now. So it'll be interesting, like, if we had this question in a year from now, it would be a lot different. Because up to this point, I feel like it's something that just, it's pretty natural. We don't have to work super hard to try to find time for each other. Because it's just, like, we're around each other a lot.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes it can be easy to just fall into, like, oh, we're around each other, so, like, we don't have to have quality time. But I guess we like spending quality time together. I don't know. Sometimes we don't do a lot, but we're not, like, perfect at it at all.
No.
Like, still figuring it out.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about, like, getting married in college. Because we have, like, I think we have more free time than, like, once he has a job. Like, I'm only going to have the night evenings with him. Versus now, like, we have a lot of our days together, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question we had was a few of our favorite things. So first, our favorite food. Go.
My favorite food?
Yeah.
Anything barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Or peanut butter. You love peanut
That's more
butter.
dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was going to say chocolate.
Oh, for food?
Because it's food. I love chocolate. I feel like I've never really had, like, one favorite, like, food that I just like eating over and over. I like a variety of things.
Yeah. Italian.
I don't know.
It'd be your style food, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Because I like fettuccine. Fettuccine Alfredo.
Isn't that Italian?
Yeah, but I don't like red sauce. I don't know. Like spaghetti, it's okay. I don't know. Because I like burgers and...
You like fruit.
Yeah, I like food. But if I had to pick one, like chocolate.
Okay.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. You have the same favorite color.
Midnight blue.
Oh. Mine's more like a light blue, like pastel. So kind of the opposite blue.
Yeah.
Favorite ice cream?
Ooh, peanut butter.
Mine's chocolate. Could you guess? Next question. How has marriage been? How's it been?
It's been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been good. It's fun just always having your best friend around.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that I like. It's just like waking up, my best friend's there. Like you get to do so much more together. And even though, so we got married really young. So I think I already said this. I was 20, he was 21. But it was like such a good decision. I'm glad I got married when we did and didn't like wait until we were older or we felt like we had more things figured out. Like it's been fun like being able to figure out things together. Because like we both also lived at home until we got married and then we moved out together. So like we've had to figure all of the adult things out together, which is interesting. It's a lot. I would say the first few months are the hardest because we were figuring all that out and like just a lot of things and realizing that like our communication was not as good as we thought. Like we thought we had good communication before we got married and then like the first few months came we were like, whoa. You have to communicate more than you think.
It was interesting because like we did all those classes like with like engagement classes.
Premarital counseling.
Yeah, premarital counseling. That's it. Yeah. And so we just felt like, man, we're ready for this. Like, like we felt like we had a good foundation built. But then like marriage is difficult. And so we kind of figured that out and just realized how little we knew and just how much work we were really gonna have to put into it.
And still have to fit into it.
Yeah, still have to.
Yeah. It's definitely not easy.
Oh my gosh. But it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love her so much.
It's so worth it. When you put in the work and you push through the hard times and you figure out the hard things and communicate, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And I would say too that it's totally worth waiting for the right person. Like, even though like we found each other so young and it seemed like easy, I also like he was my first boyfriend. Like I never dated before and I kind of made that decision like to not date, and I feel like it was totally worth it and totally worth waiting to like date someone that I thought there was a good chance that like we would pursue marriage versus just dating just to date. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, other people have a lot of different opinions about that, but I think for me, like, it was really nice having more like intentionality with dating and like just going into it being like, I don't want to date just because, like, I want to make sure like I'm dating if I feel like I can't marry this person or like there's things about them that I'm like, oh, like it's not good. Like, I'm not gonna just keep dating them just because. Like, I would have waited 10 more years to find someone like Michael.
Oh yeah, I've waited 100.
Aw, that was so cute. Okay, and then the last question we have is from my friend Molly. What's one thing that God has been teaching you lately?
So I mentioned that having or being married is like having your best friend out all the time, and I love that about it. But then it's also like a double-edged sword because when you're with your best friend, like it's hard to make time for other people or just to want to make time for other people. So I feel like God's been putting it on my heart to be more intentional with friends and like just trying to make a better effort to spend time with them and build into those relationships.
And then for me, I feel like one thing God's been teaching me is how to apologize better. So it's something that I'm kind of stubborn. I have a hard time apologizing. Like, Michael, usually when we get in an argument, he's the first one to apologize, first one to come to me and try to make things right, which is good because I'm very stubborn and it's hard for me to do that and to put down my pride and apologize. So that's something that I've been trying to work on and realize that like our relationship and keeping it strong is more important than just like trying to be right and not apologize. Try to apologize and do it first and not like keep that pride. We're done. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up because then maybe we can convince Michael to do another video in the future. So if there's anything you want to know more in depth about, like our story or shooting weddings together or our relationship, anything like that, we're not experts at all with anything. But we would love to answer any questions for you guys. Bye guys.
See ya. Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording now.
Is this live?
Yeah, it's live.
Oh my gosh. Hi, camera.
Hi.
It's so great to talk to you. We're Stephanie and Michael Kase. It's nice to meet you, America. Oh, is this India? Good morning, India.
We're done. See, that wasn't bad.
Praise the Lord.